What's up, guys? Let me know. Make sure to make a comment. I'm going to tell you this brief story of why there's a Pic Rail on the Deluxe. An unfortunate story. So make a comment. Let me know you're here, and I'll get started with the sad story. Hey, Quest. All right. Who else is all here? Yeah, I know. Not another sad story. It is kind of sad, but hopefully there's some hope. What's up, man? Okay, so I'll start it. Okay. Before I bought my Mark V Deluxe, I bought a Pic Rail, not knowing how off it would look on the gun. So when I got my new Deluxe stock back, I put it on last night, put on the scope, and was kind of horrified at how bad it looked. And it just was not sitting well with me. So I did the poll last night, wanted to know what you guys thought, and confirmed what I thought too, to get like a two-piece scope mount. So when I went to do that, I accidentally stripped one of the screws in the Pic Rail. The good news is I did not loosen that screw whatsoever. So the Pic Rail is fully functioning. So I will be able to shoot the gun. The bad news is it's stripped. So honestly, it's stripped. It's not really stripped that bad. I think I can get it out. I just, with all that's been happening with this gun, I really don't want to make a mistake and do something to the gun if I'm trying to drill out a screw. So that is the story. I made a mistake putting the Pic Rail on it. I tried to take it off and strip the screw. So I'm pretty bummed. Hey, buddy. It's funny, Ken. Yeah, so I kind of want to start shooting this gun. So I'm hoping to get this out in the next week or two so we can get the proper scope mount on it. So okay, let's make sure we make this clear. I stripped the screw head, not the threads. The threads have not been stripped at all. They're very tight on the receiver. Good question, Big Timber. Yeah. So this is kind of my philosophy on it right now, is I'm just going to go out and get it shot. So I just want to get the gun sight it in. I want to break the barrel in. And then I will worry about the proper mount. Yeah. And I might go this route if I can't do it. So good point, Castle. So again, I should be able to get it fixed. I just won't be this week. Yeah. So let's talk about the other awful thing on the Mark V Deluxe, the scope. It is very temporary. Again, I just want to shoot the gun. I want to sight it in. And unfortunately, I don't have the money right now to get the scope I want. So I'm using what I have, which sucks. It is blasphemous. It's whatever word you want to use. Yeah, it sucks, the scope I have on it. But I am planning to get a Leupold someday. Still haven't made my mind up on what Leupold, because guys, this might upset you, but there isn't one that's really I liked. So, yeah, I'm poor right now because I bought a $3,000 gun. So, I don't have the scope I want on it yet. I hope not. I torqued it down to the specifications, so I hope it doesn't come loose. Okay, Paul, so before I got the gun, I got a Pic Rail, not realizing how bad it would look on a wood gun. When I realized my mistake, I went to take off the Pic Rail, and I stripped a screw. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. So, yep. Ken, where do I find one of those? A glossy black scope. Those are nice scopes. I've seen them. Very nice. Yeah. I agree, Mill. Oh, interesting. You know, I kind of want a European glass, but they are very expensive. So Trent, I've looked at the VX3 HD. I've not impressed whatsoever, and I know that's more of their budget end scope. So I don't know. You guys need to help me. Who else is all here? I'm gonna send an invite to one of y'all if you're still here. Hey, thanks. I just it's beautiful. I wish I had a proper scope for it right now, but just using something temporary right now. Yeah, that's the plan. I just want to get it started, get it sighted in, break the barrel in, maybe find a load that it likes, and then in the coming months, get the scope it deserves to have on it. Yeah. Yeah, we were trying to... Yeah. I'm hoping for August. Break the barrel in without breaking the stock. That's the plan. So that is the plan. All right, we've got someone in here. Let's add them. Can you mute the stream? Because I can hear in the background.
Yeah.
Okay. How you doing? It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. You were actually there when I shot my original Mark V Deluxe.
Yes, I was.
It's fun, huh?
Oh, it's a blast. That was... You convinced me. You convinced me to get the Weatherby.
Yeah. So, okay, so I revealed that well, whatever you want. I can't even think of the words. I am brain freeze right now. Well, I showed the Pic Rail on the gun, and people are not happy, which I'm not happy either. But did you hear what I did?
Yeah, didn't you strip the head of the screw in it?
Yeah, so it's stuck in there right now.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not that stripped, so
yeah.
I just need to get the proper tool and do it. I'm a little weary right now after the stock splitting. I don't want to do anything to this gun.
Yeah. That as much as we babied that thing that day, that's heartbreaking, man, that it broke.
Yeah. I've been babying this gun so much, I've put it in a soft case in my safe. I don't want it getting scratched.
Nothing will scratch this gun.
No. So, yeah, that's a good scope. Very pricey. I would ask you what scope I should get, but you are like the Mr. Bargain cheap scopes person yourself.
No, I got to thinking about this the other day. I would go with a nice Burris.
Okay.
Like an upper end Burris on it. They've got good glass.
Yeah. I completely understand that back in. I don't like it either, but lesson learned. Don't get a Pic Rail for a really nice wood gun.
That's a hard lesson.
Yep. Yeah.
That wouldn't be a bad one.
I would prefer a side focus parallax, which a lot of the VX3 HD Leopold scopes don't have. Which is, I'm kind of like, really? Okay. Weatherby couldn't prove whether it was one of my reloads or a defective stock. And so they decided just to send me a new one just because they want to side with the customer. So what scope did you end up putting on there? I'm not going to say. You guys will destroy me. Let's just say it's a cheap scope.
It's what we had on hand.
Yep. I know, but I just got the gun back 2 days ago, so I'm going to baby it for at least a week until I take it to the range and accidentally scratch it.
Keep it nice till it's time to run through the trees.
Yeah. So is the action blueprinting a scam, or is it worth doing? Are you in reference to my Mark V? I guess I'm a little confused by it. Do you know what he means?
I do not know what he means by blueprinting.
Okay. Sorry, buddy. Whew, went over my head. My bad.
Yeah, mine.
So
when are you thinking about taking this bad boy out?
Saturday. You want to come?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's a custom shop upgrade for all Weatherbys. Mine is definitely not a custom gun. So I don't know. Whatever you get one rated for the recoil. I installed a cheap Leupold on it and 300 Weatherby, and it lasted 3 shots. I'm sorry to hear that. That's rough. So let's talk about 340 Weatherby recoil. Okay. With a brake, it recoils like a 30 caliber Magnum. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's with the brake, it's still there. It's a stout round.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially laying down with it. I don't know. The 300 Wisdom felt pretty comparable that day.
The Wisdom felt snappier.
Yeah.
While the Weatherby felt like a pushback, but it was a rough pushback.
Yeah. But for like, I guess, the force of the impact, I guess you could say, I'd say they're pretty comparable.
Yeah. And that 300 Wisdom is not enjoyable to shoot at all.
No, that 340, after about, I don't know, 10 shots, you start to feel it regardless of whether you have or not.
I did adjust the trigger. It is now at 2 pounds. Because don't you think that was like at 4 at least when we shot it?
At least 4. It felt super, super heavy, especially with, I don't know. I don't flinch a ton when I shoot, but with that heavy trigger and that 340, you still flinched a little. There was enough.
Yeah. Let's just say for future loads, when I put some heavier bullets in this and I put it up near max, I will not be shooting this without a brake because that will be miserable.
One time.
No. No. What's my ultimate goal for this rifle? I want to do a bit of everything. I do want to go hunting with it. I know I'm babying it like crazy right now. I'm a little paranoid by putting it in a soft case in the gun safe, but I do want to hunt with it, and I do want to eventually pass it on as a family heirloom to my son. So,
what do you want to take it for? Would you ever take it on like an antelope hunt?
No. So today I was telling someone that I'm a little bit paranoid about this stock and this gun. Yeah. I don't know how on earth I'm going to like go elk hunting with it. And someone just said, just go sit in a stand and whitetail hunt. And I said, 340 Weatherby for whitetail?
How much of this are we trying to eat here?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good scope, Dave. Yeah, so I agree, Wizard. It's not my first choice, and I made a mistake. So I stripped the screw in the Pic Rail, trying to take it off so I could put a better mounting on it, scope mount on it. So right now, we're just going to go forward with the Pic Rail. So yeah, Paul, it was a mistake. So yep.
Live and learn.
I did not use Loctite on the rail.
No.
So the 338 Win Mag versus 340. When we doing that? Well, give me a chance to break the barrel in so I can figure out a load for it.
Can we find a different rifle to use too for that 338?
So he has a 338 in a Model 70.
Oh yeah,
with a brake on it. So
yeah, that featherweight that we had, no, don't do that.
Yeah, that was awful. That was worse than the 340.
2 shots and you were done.
Okay. Yeah,
that might be it.
Those are really nice. Just drop it and get it over with. No thanks. Not on purpose. Yeah, I agree, Paul. That's a pretty good idea, actually. So it holds up to recoil better.
That would be good.
What are you doing? We're hearing it.
Oh, my phone's buzzing.
Oh.
On the table.
Nice. Oh. All right, so one more time on the story. I bought a Pic Rail before I bought the gun. When I put the Pic Rail on the gun, I immediately realized it looked terrible. So I went to take the Pic Rail off, and one of the screws was stripped when I did it. It did not loosen at all, so the Pic Rail is still functioning. But I'm not going to get it fixed in the next week, so I'm going to go to the range at least once with this Pic Rail. So I will get it fixed down the road. So that's the story. I agree with you. The Pic Rail does not look good on the Deluxe. But yeah, it's just a little bad luck for me right there.
But at least the Pic Rail's on tight.
It is. Yeah, it's not going to move. It's not going to pull a PRC on me.
Pull PRC in 7-inch groups. We did it, guys.
So that's the story. It sucks. It's honestly not even that stripped that bad. You'll have to come over and see it, Jason.
Yeah, we'll come over and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll get it Saturday.
I'm just a little worried about messing with the gun right now.
Yeah.
I'm a little paranoid.
I am too.
So I have a lot of faith, though, that the stock will hold up and it will do great. And the gun will shoot just fine.
Hold up. It'll look half them away, but the bullets are so big, it'll be MOA.
Yeah. That's funny. When 338 bullets are touching, you'd think it's like quarter MOA, but it's like barely under half MOA.
Yeah, it's. And looking at even the holes of the 338 next to your 300, it's so much bigger.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, there's a local store my dad gets at least 10% off. I might get the scope at that local store when I eventually get the Leupold scope. Okay, Jason, what Leupold scope would you get? I'm pretty set on getting a Leupold.
I'd probably have to go with the Mark V, like everybody's saying.
You mean the VX5?
Yeah, that one. Sorry, yeah, the VX5.
Okay.
They seem to be good. I'm not a big fan of their glass, but if I were to pick one, that one's the one to go with.
I'm leaning towards that the tool I used was junk. Just, yeah.
Yeah.
So, once again, my fault. Okay, so eventually when I shoot hand loads, the bullet I really want, and I'm pretty sure it'll like, is a 225 grain TTSX.
Yeah.
That's what Weatherby uses in their factory ammo. So you got to think that Weatherby kind of knows what they're doing and on what bullets they pick for Weatherby ammo. So Yeah. I also have some 250 grain AccuBond that I want to shoot. And I don't know. AccuBonds have been hit and miss for my guns. My 300 Weatherby does it sometimes like it, sometimes it hates it.
Yeah.
My 257 just loves them, consistently half MOA with them. So I don't know what the Mark V will do with the AccuBonds.
But I mean, from what we had from that day we took it out, there's a lot of promise with all of those.
Yeah, Sean. I agree. Hey, Ron's here. Yeah, that's the eventual plan. I just don't have the money right now. Hey, Dave. I'm not planning to keep it on there long. So I know some guys are just coming in, but the Pic Rail, one of the screws was stripped, so it's in there for now, but I'll get it fixed eventually. So the reason I posted that community post was just to get all of the, well, to pull the Band-Aid off. Because, you know, in that video, people are going to be like, what on earth are you doing shooting with a Pic Rail? Oh. Good idea. I think the 338 RPM is a really cool round. It's really niche. But, like, as a backpacking gun in Alaska, that's really good.
That'd be a sweet little rig.
Yeah. I agree, Todd. I also think it's a great Alaskan cartridge. Okay, Jason. So if you went and did like this all expense, like money was no worry, you're going to go hunt bear and moose in Alaska, what cartridge are you taking?
So I saw this one the other day, and I didn't know it was really a thing, but it was
you can't take your 6.5 Creedmoor, by the way.
Oh, dude, no, we're not. 243.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. No, a 338 rum.
Oh,
kind of a different one, but
you know, I actually have that case.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, you'll have to come and see it. Oh, that's the 300 rum. Hold on, it's here somewhere.
I saw it on, I forget who I was watching, but they had a 338 rum in a
You know, it's not as long as a 300 rum. It's
How
actually
big
smaller.
is it compared to like your 300 Weatherby?
So, where is my? I'm going to get 340 Weatherby brass. They're really similar.
Okay.
Just a sec.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
You're good.
Okay. Whoa. Got to get this. 338 rum. 340 Weatherby.
Oh, so they're pretty close.
340 Weatherby's a little longer, but obviously more narrow case.
Yeah.
So I think you could maybe get a little more out of the 338 rum.
But
maybe.
Not a ton.
No.
If you got anything.
Yeah. That's the plan. I hope the gun likes it. I think it will, just because Weatherby loads it in their factory ammo. Do I have any move plans? So I've thought about, like, Alaskan Ballistics keeps trying to invite me up to go hunt. And I've always talked up the 340 Weatherby, but I don't know if I have the guts to go take that deluxe out in the Alaskan bush. I would probably use my 300 Weatherby for it.
Yeah.
So I really like the new Spear Impact. My 300 Weatherby really liked that bullet. I actually sent those bullets off to hooty hoo for him to load in his 300 Weatherby. I believe it is.
I think so.
Let me see. So I have the 300 rum here. Let me show you the difference. The 300 rum is just a longer case. Not a huge difference, but you might not be able to tell either.
A couple thou anyway.
So yeah, the taller one is the 300 rum. So how is the 300 Weatherby with no brake? Not terrible. But I did get scoped the last time I did it without a brake. That was bad. So, yeah. I mean, for a whole year or more, I shot the 300 Weatherby without a brake, and it's fine.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's no more than
you don't want to put more than like 15 rounds on your shoulder. You'll start flinching a lot more.
But it's a real Magnum, so that's expected.
Yeah. That's a good idea. I like normal bullets.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah. So let's talk about some realistic expectations for this 340 Weatherby, because we shot one group with the hand loads, right?
Yeah.
It was 1.5 inches, which two were almost for the, like, it was probably shot 8, 9, and 10 or something.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
I didn't mind that.
For the first day out with nothing
and a potentially cracked stock.
Yeah. Cracked stock, no actual development behind it, just some loads that were thrown together to go try. I'd say it's going to do very well.
Yeah.
MOA's doable, very doable.
I think it's possible. We'll see. I don't have a ton of high hopes for it though, because my 300 Weatherby, my 257 Weatherby did not shoot particularly well in the first like 30 rounds in my guns. Especially the 257. I was like consistently getting 1.5 inches, and I was like, oh, okay. So I think I'd be ecstatic if I got sub MOA on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
So they could not. So their official statement was they could not tell if it was my hand loaded ammo or a malfunction in the stock, like a bad stock, and they decided to side with me and send me a new stock. So yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, so Reloading Quest has offered to send me 225 grain partition bullets, so I might try that. I had really good luck with partitions, Jason. I know everyone says like, oh, 1.5 inch groups, no thanks. I've gotten every gun I've tried in the partition to shoot at least 3/4 inch.
I've got some 270 partitions. Do you want to try that?
Which grain weight? If they're 130 grain, my 270 loves them.
Yeah.
I'm getting like 0.6 inch groups.
Yeah.
Oh, you got factory ammo.
Yeah, they're factories.
Okay.
That was during the COVID days of. That was what was on the shelf, so I grabbed it.
And you bought that for your Savage? Woof.
Well, that Savage, I was like, anything at this point, please, something shoot well.
I don't think partition's your answer for accuracy.
Nothing else worked, so I was like, why not try it? But we got rid of that before I tried them.
Say what you will about Savage, they usually almost always have guns that just shoot well. They have crappy stocks. Sometimes they have crappy triggers and a really awful bolt, but I've always been able to get them shoot except for your gun.
So I grew up on Savages. I mean, everything my dad and everybody owns is a Savage, and they all shoot great. So I was on a budget, bought that 270 thinking it would be great too, and here we are. I think the best we ever got it was like 2.5 inches.
That was the best group?
I want to say so. It was 2.5.
Wow, the Mossberg's even better than that.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? The only bullet, the only powder my Mossberg has liked up to this date has been a Nosler ballistic tip, 120 grain, which some people would say is like a varmint bullet, at least the weight.
Yeah, the weight, yeah.
And with old school powder.
Go figure, right?
Yeah.
Take it back to old school, and the PRC does great. Well, does better.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Paul. They shoot. So, although the 28 Nosler is also a savage. And technically, it gets 3/4 inch sometimes.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's not the most consistent thing ever.
It's a good idea, Paul. So you've had a few guns that couldn't pull off sub-MOA grooves, but for the most part, trial and error load workup is your friend. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some guns are just pickier. And honestly, let's be honest, I thought my 300 Weatherby was a pretty average shooting gun before I started shooting all the mono bullets. And it's like, oh, turns out this thing can consistently get half MOA with monolithic bullets.
Your 300 and monolithics, match made in heaven.
Right. Cup and core bullets,
hit and miss.
Right. You'll get sub MOA most of the time.
Yeah.
Barely with other bullets. But yeah, mono bullets, it's like, oh, wow, another half MOA group. Cool. So.
Yeah. Which,
so, go ahead.
Weatherby cartridges and the monolithics, they're about the perfect match just because the Weatherbys can push them fast enough that you don't have to worry about getting, I guess, overly close with the monolithics like you would with some other cartridges.
Yeah.
So you still have that velocity that they'll expand at, which is what you need.
Yeah. All right. So my brief little experience with terminal ascent is it's kind of a picky bullet. They're not extremely accurate. Admittedly, I haven't seen a lot of footage on YouTube of people using terminal ascent, but I think overall it's not the most accurate bullet, but it is a darn good hunting bullet. But that's just my little experience with it. I'm sure there is a gun that absolutely loves the terminal ascent. So. Yeah. Also, my 300 Weatherby really like old school bullets too. From the few that I've tried.
Yeah, I did. It was great.
Those, what are they? The North Fork bullets. Those are like semi-Spitzer, and it was half MOA.
Yeah, I don't know. Your 300 is kind of a weird one. It likes the really, really new stuff or the really old stuff. Nothing in between.
Right. You can't talk smack. I'm not talking smack. I really do believe it's one of the best hunting bullets. I just haven't seen amazing groups from any rifles from it. If you guys know of any video, please share it with me. And I really do want to, like, I actually talked to Federal and asked, hey, when are you going to give us those 175s for the hand loaders? And they want to do it. It's just the shortage is still happening.
Yeah.
What's your do-it-all cartridge? Easy. 6.5 Creedmoor. Just kidding.
Totally. Every day. All day.
If I want a sub-MOA 5-shot group, I would.
Yeah. If you're shooting just targets, yeah.
No, I pick 300 Weatherby.
Yeah.
What would you go? 7 Rem Mag?
Somewhere around there, yeah. 7 Rem Mag, probably.
Here we go. So that's awesome. I'm glad. Not sure what that's a reference to. How often do I clean my barrel? I'm about the same, Trent. Probably 50 to 60 rounds. Have you ever cleaned your barrel, Jason?
I clean my 6.5 Creedmoors after about 500 rounds. Because it started having a little bit of pressure.
Okay.
So I ran one patch through it. My 7 mag, I think last time I cleaned it was about a year ago.
You should clean it.
But I haven't put much through it though.
Okay.
I'm probably at about 100 rounds since I last cleaned it. But
how many rounds have you put through your 7 rem mag?
600, 700.
Okay, that's where I'm about with my 300 Weatherby, and I'm cleaning them every 60 or so. And I just cleaned it only because of that theory with Ron Spomer and Backfire that you need to clean it to shoot mono bullets. To work. I don't know. My 300 Weatherby just loves monos, so 270. That's a good choice. I wouldn't use it in Alaska though.
Okay, that's a different one.
Yeah, 230 grain ELDX. I don't have plans to load it in my 340 Weatherby because I could get that going well over 3,000 feet per second, I think, and that'd be pretty devastating up close.
Yeah.
That's a good choice, Jacob. I like 30-06. I know you're not the biggest fan, Jason, but it's a good choice.
It's a good choice.
Huh. Okay, so 8mm PRC Hunter. Do you think they'll ever come out with an 8mm PRC? I doubt it. It's too dead of a caliber.
It would be cool though.
There's like Nosler only offers like 2 bullet options in 8mm.
Yeah,
like a 180 grain and a 200 grain. But you bring up a great point. Be patient. Get the scope you really want. Buy once, cry once, then happily ever after.
It's a good way to look at it.
And the only reason I'm using this really cheap scope on it right now is just so I could get load development started. Okay. I might have to try. My dad cleans his rifle like after every time. The problem is he forgets about like the fouling shot.
Oh, so that always has a flyer to start?
Well, the other time, sorry, this was a while ago. He has a custom 300 Win Mag that's lights out, and his load is a 210 Burger that shoots half MOA. And I remember his first shot like went far up left, and then the rest of the group was like an inch and a half away, all within like sub half MOA. And he was just like, "Oh man." I was like, "Dad, did you clean your gun before shooting this?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, that explains it." So nice. 8mm Rem Mag's pretty sweet, but yeah, I don't get it. 8mm is just
it's just in that dead caliber.
It's dead. Same with 325. Oh wait, that's the same. Never mind. 325 WSM is done dead, along with 8mm Remington. 30 Creedmoor. You know, it's already been made.
Yeah.
It's the parent case to the 6.5 Creedmoor. It's called the 30 TC, and it is deader than dead.
So there's a guy now trying to bring it back on one of the 6.5 Creedmoor Facebook groups.
Okay.
So he's just necking out his 6.5 Creedmoor, thinking that he invented this whole new thing. Like, oh, it's so cool. But
the 30 Creedmoor.
The 30 Creedmoor. That's what he's calling it. His own custom gun shop makes a 30 Creedmoor.
Okay, what do you think? Do you think a 3 to 9 power is enough for a 3.3 RPM? I mean, it'll work.
Yeah, you'll struggle at it further ranges, but for hunting, that's all you need.
Also, the 338 RPM is not really a long distance hunting cartridge.
Yeah.
So, okay, we got to Ram and Jam, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Working in Texas at the moment, they want over $300 for our out-of-state hunting license. They can keep the hogs. I won't pay. Woof.
Ouch.
That's rough. So how much was the Utah? Because you're an out-of-stater in Utah. Yeah. How much was your hunting license? It's like 100?
The deer tag, the buck tag, $416.
Oof.
Elk was around, no, elk was like $100 more than that.
Yeah.
It's rough.
So we actually find out on Thursday, latest, what we drew out. 16th. Yeah.
But you should see it hitting your credit card within the next.
Yeah, I haven't seen it hit, which I'm a little worried.
I haven't either. I'm kind of sitting here worrying about it.
I mean, I can still get an over-the-counter tag, but...
Yeah. But I've still got Colorado to fall back on for tags.
There you go. Okay. I would 100% agree. If Hornady's next cartridge was the 30 Creedmoor, it would sell like hotcakes right now. And they don't even have to say like anything about the 30 TC.
No, 30 TC doesn't exist. That's something else.
Nah, it's not going to. I don't know how it would scratch up. It's on a...
It shouldn't.
It's on a Pic Rail, so there's one bonus. It's a little farther away from the gun. Do you think a new 30 caliber hits the market in the next couple of years? Yeah, the 30 Creedmoor.
Yeah, 30 Creedmoor.
I don't know. People are going away from 30 caliber, or if they're... I mean, it is so hard to get into the 30 caliber game. I think Hornady proved that. There's
just so much. It's such a saturated caliber too.
And there's so many good ones already there.
Yeah. Because, I mean, in the 30 cal, you go from the 300 Savage, let's say, clear up to your big 300 drums, 300 Weatherbys. There's not really a space for something to fit in.
Because I'm sure you guys might have heard the 300 RCM and the 30 TC. Those are both Hornady cartridges that failed miserably.
Yeah.
300 RCM is pretty cool, actually. You think of it almost like a 300 WSM Light.
Is it?
Almost. Honestly, I think it's more like a 30-06, but... And I think that's why it's dead, is because they try... It's mimicking 30-06 performance.
Yeah, but I mean, that is the standard too, though.
Yeah.
Still.
Okay. So that makes sense. Why your name?
That's cool.
The only problem, though, is...
Bullet selection.
Bullet selection, and there's no high BC bullets in 8mm. Not even close. So... All right, Paul. I would lean towards at least a 12 power.
12, 16, somewhere in there.
Personally, I would probably, minimum for me is like 14. But I also understand you don't need like a 20 power or 25 power for hunting either.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So what are you going to bring to the range? Do you have anything you're working on?
Not recently. I haven't worked on much. I've thought about trying some different powders in the 270 just to see if it would help me get a little better velocity. Because as it sits right now, I'm getting 130 grain bullets with like 3,000 feet a second. So maybe like Mag Pro or something like that would give me a little bit more.
Have you tried Stayball 6.5?
Yeah. It was going about 3,080, 3,070. Okay. But on the average, the extreme spread was like 2,950 to 3,120. So extreme spread and SDs were just trash.
Personally, the Leupold VX3 4.5 to 14 is my favorite hunting scope. What objective lens? What size do you have on that one? I'm curious. No, the RCM cartridges are like well thought out, efficient, kind of cool, but they're just dead. 300 and 338 RCM. They're both deader than dead. Right there with the 30 TC.
Yep.
Okay, Reloader 16.
If you can find it.
You don't have any Alliant powder, do you?
I've got Hodgdon and Winchester. IMR, a little bit of accurate. That's it. I haven't played with them that as much.
Actually, I think Gunny's has some. Either they have Reloader 19 or 16 right now. But it's like $80.
Ouch.
Derek just bought 8 pounds of Reloader 16. Did you have to like take a second mortgage out of your house on that one?
Sell your first child? I mean,
I'm sure that was at least $500. At least.
Yeah. Because how much was yours? Just 2 pounds? Of
160?
Ouch.
So it's $80 a pound.
Yeah.
Okay. I was looking at a VX3 today. Don't know if I'll go with that one. 6.5 PRC necked up to 7. The 7mm PRC W. That's very popular for F-class shooters right now. As a hunting cartridge, I don't see the point of it, though, because you got to realize the F-class shooters have like 30-inch barrels, and they're pushing it as hard as possible.
What if you made a 270 PRC, but just necked down the 7 PRC to 270?
I don't know if he's here in the chat, but someone actually made so the parent case is 7 PRC, and he necked it down to 270. So, and he loves it.
Yeah.
I assume it's really close to what the 6.8 Western is. So
yeah, I would assume so.
$600. Lovely.
Ouch. I'm good.
Ow. I love Reloader 22, but it is painful every time I buy it.
Yeah.
My guns love Reloader 22. I know it's not temp sensitive whatsoever. It's like one of the worst ones, but
that's why I like the Superformance.
That's not temp sensitive either.
No, it's not, but it's cheap.
Yeah. So is the Winchester powder, but you kind of pay for what you get.
Yeah, they're super picky. If you can get them dialed in on a good load, they're great.
Yeah.
But if you're not on that great load, they're not worth getting.
Yeah. Okay, so Jason, here's my question for you. If this 340 Weatherby was yours, what bullet would you choose to hunt with? And unfortunately, Nosler doesn't make a ballistic tip over 200 grains.
No, they don't.
They should make like a 225 or a 250.
Yeah, but I don't even, in a 338, I don't even know if I would want a ballistic, just the mess that it would cause. I would probably that TTSX that you're wanting to try.
Okay.
If not, that 225 grain AccuBond.
Oh, it's so expensive.
Yeah. But they're moving so fast for how big of a diameter it is that I'm not worried about the bullet coming apart. I'm just worried about putting the hole in the right spot.
Yeah. So I wanted to get to I have the 250 grain AccuBond.
Yeah.
The only reason I have the 250 grain is because it was cheaper to buy than the 225 AccuBonds.
That makes sense, right?
I was like, whatever. So, which I'm excited to try the 250s to see if it likes it and see if I can find something.
If you do, great. If not, it was an expensive experiment.
Yeah. Which this is the other nice thing about Barnes bullets is there's not a huge jump price in 338 bullets.
No, there's not.
I paid $50 for the 225 TTSX, which is only like a couple dollars more than like a 30 caliber TTSX.
Yeah.
At most like $5 more.
That's not bad.
No. If all else fails with the Mark V, I guess I'll go get some hammer bullets. They'll shoot.
Honestly, the hammers have done so well. I would say it's worth it just to try it.
Yeah. So what bullet are you going to be shooting in your 270? Are you shooting a 130 grain?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to try to do something different with those 170s? Or have you just given up on it?
I don't know. They're very hit and miss. I'll get half MOA groups, and then I'll get like 2 MOA. And it's back to like 3/4, and I don't know. That's
because of probably marginal stability. That's probably why.
Yeah. But I don't know. Nothing seemed to get the velocities that we were wanting.
Well, you're trying to turn your 270 into a little 7 mag there.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, going 28-50 for the average with a 170 out of the 270 Winchester's pretty good. But
it's a little too much.
Yeah, accuracy kind of suffered. It was obviously overpressured.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even close to Sammy.
No.
But it was fun.
Yeah. You still need to give me you still need to give me your water capacity and case capacity with the 7 mag.
On that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to know the pressure you were running on that one load.
When we get off, I will find it and I'll send it to you tonight.
Okay. We'll get those numbers. I'm going to guess that it's well over 70,000 PSI.
75 to 80.
Yeah.
But the thing is the weekend before, there was no pressure. So we were going to go up. But I think with the heat and everything that day, it
was a bad luck day. That was the same day we split the stock.
Yeah.
So
that day was just not our friend.
No. The only gun that shot well was the 6.5. Oh, I'm missing a ton of comments. They did not show up. Oh, it's Derek. Yeah, he has the 277.
Okay, yeah. I remember now.
I believe it when I see it. I'm just teasing. Oh, definitely. I would say the 340 Weatherby kicks way more than a 375. You have a bit more powder capacity in the 340 Weatherby.
Yeah.
Because it's basically like a improved 375. Just neck down.
I haven't tried Super Performance in the 270. It's time to try it.
So Big Timber has a VX6. He likes it.
Is that what he's putting on his 300?
He has the 3-18 by 44. I haven't seen it. I don't watch their stuff on scopes. I know people are surprised. They think I'm like this huge Vortex fanboy. I am not whatsoever. So all of the Vortex scopes I own were given to me as a present. I've never bought a Vortex scope. So I don't hate the scopes, but I don't think they're that great either. So let's get that out of the way. I am not a Vortex fanboy. Yeah, I saw that. So I was trying to get Hopeful Ballistics to buy some 178 grain absolute hammers for his 30-06. I've heard incredible things about that bullet, that you can get like really fast velocities. How are you measuring pressure at the range? I mean, we look for signs on the primer and on the case. Bolt lift, obviously.
Yeah.
But Honestly, I'm starting to use Gordon's reloading tool. It's most of the time pretty accurate. So it's what I'm going to be using going forward, especially with this 340 Weatherby, so I don't accidentally do something stupid.
Yeah.
So
keep the stock intact.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. How long? Oh, a 24-inch barrel. I got to imagine you're hitting a good amount of pressure. I can't even get close to that with my 7 PRC. I've gotten 2950 with a ton of pressure with a 175 grain. 175 ELDX with 7 PRC. Now, admittedly, I have a really slow gun, but
yeah, but
Vortex made in Wisconsin. I don't really want to bring up. Let's not get into like a scope debate because I have a very strong opinion. I'm going to get a Leupold, but I have a very strong opinion on Leupold that a lot of people probably won't like. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, if they release the 25 PRC, it would. I mean, let's be honest, like it would smoke the 257 Weatherby because the 257 Weatherby really can't shoot the high BC bullets. Yeah, I kind of proved it in warm weather in a hot load, but it was barely stable.
Yeah.
Like I'm barely getting sub MOA.
I don't know. Of all the PRCs, if they did a 25 PRC, I think I'd get that one.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. We've been messing around with Gordon's reloading tool to kind of see what the pressures are at. So, for record, that 200 grain one in the 340 Weatherby was at 52,000 estimated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really hot for that PRC case. Like really hot. Which, if it works for you, that's awesome. I hope. Just don't shoot it in a hot day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't take it to Arizona.
Doesn't Weatherby have a 26-inch barrel? Not for the 338 RPM. They're all about like cutting down on weight and almost turning it into a brush gun. Longest barrel on the 338 RPM, I think, is a 24-inch. That's a good question. So the data I've ran for my 7 PRC seems to be right on. That once I get around 65,000, I start seeing a decent amount of pressure.
Yeah. Well, like with my 7 mag, we had the other day when we went out, I was blowing primers on some of those loads, and it was, according to the load data, it should have been under pressure, but I think it varies so much gun to gun that's why you have to build up in your load. Because you just jump to the max load, it says it's safe in their stuff, but
forget that, Jacob. I want a 257 378 Weatherby, a 25 378.
That's a man's mag
with a fast twist and a 135 grain bullet. That would be fun. What's my opinion on Leupold? I think they are very good scopes. I think you're paying for the name, but there's a lot of companies that do that have a reputation, and you're paying a little more for their name. But everyone just raves about how it's American made. But you can go to Leupold's site and see that they get their glass from China, Japan, and Europe. Their lower end stuff is from China. Their, I think, VX3HD and up are from Japan. And I don't know which glass is from Europe, but so there's none of the glasses made in America. They assemble the scope though in America. So, but yeah, some of their stuff is from China. Okay, I'd love to know. What did you say, Jason?
That I was blowing primers.
Just go.
You got me there, dude.
Zeiss versus Leopold. I think Zeiss wins every time.
Hands down.
Leopold makes good stuff. Don't get me wrong. I just
if you're gonna
pay
pick
for their name,
pick Zeiss.
Every rifle is different.
Yeah.
Because up until now, we have never found any pressure signs in your 7 mag until that one day ever. Yeah, and we were going well above. Well above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to clean the barrel.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
That could have been it, you know.
That very well could be.
Because there wasn't that big of a temperature difference, and it was with H1000 where it has some of the best temp stability ever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I agree, Ron. Get European glass if you want the best glass you can get. So. Okay, if I hit the lottery tonight, what scope would you put on the 340? And where are you taking it hunting? Probably Swarovski's. I can't say that even. I can't even say it right.
Just a Swarovski.
Or a Schmidt Bender.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd go to Alaska, and I'd also go to Africa. I even saw the recent Weatherby podcast where they went to New Zealand. That'd be fun. I love Lord of the Rings, so
yeah. If you could hunt any animal from each continent, what would you want?
I want to hunt a moose.
Okay.
I think a zebra would be fun in Africa.
That would be sweet.
I don't know if I have the cojones to go do dangerous game hunting. But I guess you got backup with the guides and all that, so yeah. No, Leupold has a great warranty. They make good scopes. But yeah, I agree. Yeah. Dirty mind out of here. Okay. Okay, so you just switched out of VX5 for a Night Force. I have a friend that's let me borrow some of his really nice guns, and he has a Night Force NX8 on it, and it was really nice. Why did that come up twice? Okay, what do you think of this?
I was in the same debate with this, honestly. So 6.5 Creedmoor over 308 for small hole brass. I would say it depends on what you're wanting to use it for. If it's purely for hunting, I would go the 308. Just it's a little bit bigger frontal diameter, a little bit more energy downrange. It's going to be accurate just as far as the 6.5 Creedmoor is. But with that being said, the 6.5 Creedmoor with the small hole brass is what I run. Just because of where I'm at, the powders and everything that's available here in Utah, it'll all pretty much run through the 6.5 Creedmoor, and it won't through the 308. So I would go the 6.5.
So you have a good point there. Like, I don't have enough. I've only used a a Swarovski like once. It was so nice to look through, but I was shooting it in a 7mm 08, so I don't have enough time with them to really give you like a in-depth like review of why I think it's so awesome. I just know the glass is really nice. I'm gonna have to like ask my friend to borrow that again so you can see it. Have you ever seen one of those? It was nice.
I've seen one once when I went down to the Fierce factory there, and I saw a few of them, and I only looked through one, but I don't have any like actual shooting experience.
Any chance of me getting a dangerous game rifle for the channel? If I make it big, that's not my goal, but let's say if my channel blows up, I'd absolutely get maybe a 378 Weatherby or maybe a 460 Weatherby. Why not?
It'd be fun.
Yeah. It'd be awful, but it'd be fun. Yes, Night Force makes great scopes. You want a 338, 378 Weatherby, huh?
If I were to get a Weatherby in like a high-end rifle, I'd want the 338, 378.
What rifle would you get it in? I assume
the Mark V.
Oh, I know. Well, that's the only one you can get it in is a Mark V. But you would say the Deluxe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I was just curious if you'd put it in like AccuMark, because those are supposed to be really nice, accurate rifles.
Yeah. I haven't held one, so I couldn't tell you.
There's one at Shields in 300 Weatherby. It's nice.
Well, maybe I need to take a trip.
It's a thicker barrel. It's a heavier gun.
Yeah.
But it's meant for accuracy.
Yeah. Which, I don't know, with those 338s, you almost have to have that heavier barrel.
Yeah. That's my big worry, is how good of accuracy I can get out of this really sporter barrel in the Deluxe. But we'll see. No, I said 460 Weatherby. That's even bigger. Now that Norma isn't making the weather brass anymore, who do you think it is? There's rumors that it's Peterson. I don't know if I believe it, but I kind of do, because Peterson makes every single Weatherby caliber.
It makes sense.
Except for the 378 cases. They don't make those. So Weatherby's not using them for that.
But not many people are making those 378 cases either.
No. Yeah, that would be fun and awful.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, Jay Carey does think it's Peterson that's doing it. So, okay, what do you think of? Would you ever get a 6.5 300? That'd be fun.
It would be fun, but I don't know if I would do it, just because if I want to burn that much powder, I want something else.
Like a 338.
Yeah, the 338, a big 30 cal. I don't know if I'd want to burn that much powder for a 6.5.
So who makes the 378 cases? That's a good question. So when I say 378 cases, I'm talking 30, 378, 338, 378, and obviously 378 and above. I just know Peterson doesn't make those cases. At least they don't sell them to consumers.
Yeah.
But every single else, like Weatherby case, is made by Peterson. So, yeah. 416 Weatherby. Yeah. Norma, maybe? Maybe.
Could be.
Yeah. You can still get Norma Weatherby brass. Does that make sense? Like, it's Norma brass and Weatherby cartridges.
Yeah.
You can get them in 257 and 300, I think. Yeah. Norma makes really good brass.
Yeah, some of my favorite. On cheap brass.
This 340 Weatherby brass looks really good. I like it. So, I hope it's made by Peterson. For how much I'm paying for the 340 Weatherby brass.
Yeah.
Okay. I've always been a proponent of bigger caliber for better or larger expansion. Again, you can kill with anything with the right shot placement, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
it's possible. It's not ideal.
Yeah. Okay, here's a fun one. Is the juice worth squeeze on a 270 AI? I would probably do a 270 Weatherby.
Yeah, 270 Weatherby.
So here's the fun thing about 270 Weatherby. I'm not tempted to get one, but it's a really good cartridge. So it's not getting obviously the same ballistic downrange performance as the 6.5300, but it is getting identical velocities with the same weight bullet with a much smaller case. You can push a 130 grain 3450. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I really like if anyone that lives near me has a 270 Weatherby, I would love to see if I can stabilize a 165 ABLR in it.
Bring it to the range. We want to try it.
I think we could get 3,200 feet per second with that.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
I bet 30. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the carbon marks are also really good. So the Weatherby podcast says their most accurate gun is a 300 Weatherby in a carbon mark. I don't know how often it does this, but they say they get less than a 10th inch groups with that gun.
Holy cow.
Oh, here we go, Todd. I believe it. I'm getting crazy velocities in my 300 Weatherby.
It's doable.
Who's that? Was that me?
Oh, it's my father-in-law. I've got to go get my car.
Okay. Hey, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We'll see you Saturday.
Absolutely. Should be fun. We'll film it, and I hope to get something sub MOA. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll at least have fun doing it.
And hopefully the gun will come back intact.
Stay together. That's
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, all right, man. Thanks for coming on. Hey, there you go. All right, guys. I think I got to call it. I got to make sure my kids go to bed. But to recap, I bought a Pic Rail before I got the gun. I put it on there, realized it looked not very good. Went to take it off, and I stripped one of the screws. Now, the screw is still really tight in the Pic Rail, so it's very usable. I'm not going to replace it this week. So I'm going to go to the range at least once with this Pic Rail, but the end goal is to take it off. So, yeah, I agree with all of you that it just doesn't look right. I don't think it looks as terrible as some of you have commented, but yeah, I definitely want it off. 284 Shaheen, sweet. That'll be fun. Why do I dislike the 6.5 PRC on a cartridge ranking tier list? That's just been personal experience with my dad's 6.5 PRC. It's just not making velocity like it should. It's about 100 feet per second slower than the book with a 24-inch barrel. So it's a really good cartridge. I think it's better in 7 PRC if that makes it feel better. But yeah, I will say the 300 PRC is the best Hornady cartridge. I think it's really good. So anyway, thanks guys. I will definitely do a range video of the 340 Weatherby, and I'm also going to be doing other stuff with 300 Weatherby and 300 WSM. So it should be a lot of fun. Thanks guys for coming. Maybe. It's completely my fault. So, anyway, we'll get it fixed eventually. But thanks for coming. Thanks for stopping by and talking with me. We'll see you guys.